Hi, it's Gwyneth here on a fabulous Feel Good Friday, helping you to feel even more fabulous about you than you already are. And in today's video, I want to give you 3 things actually for you to give yourself a mini mindset makeover. Why is your mindset important? Well, quite apart from the fact that we see it so much, on social media, health, wellness, awareness about how we feel. Everything that happens in here, your mindset, impacts everything in your life, from what you decide to eat in the morning to what you're telling yourself in your mind about taking career decisions, family decisions. Your mindset impacts, as I said, everything. How you feel about work, your levels of anxiety, potentially moving into negative space where you just feel stuck and you don't know what to do anymore. So it's important to manage your mindset, and more than that, you have to give yourself a mini mindset makeover. You have to start thinking different things so that you start doing things differently, so that you then become that resilient, that calm, that happy potential person that you want to be. So number 1 is all about shifting your perspective. What do I mean? I know that you will have had experience in your head. What if everything goes wrong? What if I'm not clever enough? What if I don't get paid? What if my family, friends, colleagues don't support me? What if this turns out to be a big mistake? Now, what that is actually your brain trying to protect you from change, because any kind of change requires an enormous amount of energy. And those neural pathways that you've been traveling down for a long time, probably, those are the thoughts, those are the neural pathways that are telling you need to stick on the straight and narrow. Let's stick to what we know, because we know how to deal with that. If it does go wrong, it'll be fine. But let's not try and do anything new just in case it all goes horribly wrong. But I'd like to encourage you to change those thoughts when you catch yourself thinking negatively like that. Flip those statements. What if I did succeed? What if I had all the qualifications and experience I need to be able to apply to this position? What if I'm exactly the perfect business partner for this opportunity that's coming up? What if my family, friends, colleagues did support me? What if I could earn a fabulous amount of money so that I then have more time freedom, so that I can then spend more time with my family doing things I love to do? So it's a very simple switch, but it does require discipline. It does require you to actually stop when you catch yourself. It's never going to work. It's all going to go wrong, and say, what if actually the opposite were true? You are putting a pattern interrupt in your brain, in your mind as you're thinking, and you're just asking your brain to do something a bit different. And it will feel weird in the beginning, like I said, because your brain wants to keep you safe. All those neural pathways, they've been there for a long time, doing the same thing day after day, and you are suddenly throwing a bit of a spanner into the works and saying, come on, let's think about this differently. So number 1 is shift your perspective. Number 2 is to build resilience. Now, you have to start this in small steps, because again, coming back to what people might say to you, the criticism that you hear, or people judge you according to their values, according to their perspective. So when it comes to building resilience, the next time you hear something negative, instead of going into that, it's not fair, they always criticize, nobody's supporting me, again, all that negative chit chat that you're used to telling yourself, instead, write it down. Write down what they've said to you and ask yourself the question, is this true for me? Is this really true for me, what they're saying about me, that I'm not clever enough, or I'm too old, or there's too much competition, or the economy's in a bad state? Is that true for me? It's really, really important to remember that when people are giving you their opinion, that they're looking at it from their perspective. They can't see what's in your heart, in your soul. They can't see what your passion is, because we're not very good at showing those things to people. It makes us feel vulnerable. So when you do get that criticism, write it down and ask yourself that question: is this true for me? Now, a couple of things happen when you begin to do that. First of all, you will start to find that you are saying, no, this is not true for me. And when you do that, your inner confidence begins to grow. And when you do that, your external resilience begins to grow, so that when people do question you about your decisions you're taking, or the career path you've chosen, or the business that you've decided to establish, what happens then is that you are able to acknowledge, yep, I get what you're saying, totally understand. I used to think like that. And this is my passion, and this is what I've decided to do for me. And I know that, maybe you don't get it. Doesn't matter. I get it. You might not want to say that in particular to them. But do you see the difference between kind of just letting yourself retreat and letting those words sink in and offend you and allow yourself to be upset or angry or whatever it is you're feeling, versus acknowledging what somebody says, stepping away, writing it down with a pen. You are an analog being, not digital, and asking yourself, is this true for me? Is this really who I am? I promise you that the more often you do this, the more often the answer will come back, no, that's their opinion. They're entitled to it. This is not who I choose to be. So building resilience in that way, start off small, but you'll find that it will make a huge difference to you. And number 3, when it comes to mindset makeover, I'm sure you will have heard about visualization. And there's a lot of stuff around visualization about what works, what doesn't work. On a very scientific level, we know that visualization works when you combine it with emotions. Now, visualization has been used since the 1970s during the Olympics to help athletes visualize the various sports that they were doing, to actually go through their mind time and time again, to practice in their mind what they were going to do. There are so many studies learning how to play the piano and building the muscles in your fingers. Skiers these days, I'm a big ski fan at the weekend if I'm watching the skiing. A lot of the skiers at the top of the mountain, you'll see them with their helmets on, all geared up, eyes closed, and they're already going down the mountain in their minds. Visualization is an incredibly impactful, important, brilliant transformational tool, as long as you combine it with the emotion. So when you are thinking about something, wouldn't it be fabulous if you need to allow that emotion to come up as well? You'll never take ownership, create accountability for yourself simply by thinking something. You have to feel it as well. Like I said, there's a huge amount of science around this, and I'm not going to pretend to understand half of what quantum physics is, but the science is there, the evidence is there, that when you have a clear objective, when you know what it is that you want, and you spend time going through in your mind what that is going to look like and bring the emotion into it, it's going to help you. It's going to make the manifestation, the creation of that reality for you a lot easier. So again, you're changing the way that your mind is working. You're not just using thoughts, you're bringing emotion into the equation to make things even more powerful, so that you feel even better about what it is you want to do. So those are my 3 tips today for a mini mindset makeover. First of all, shift your perspective, not what if everything goes wrong, what if everything goes right. Number 2, build resilience. Get used to questioning, maybe not directly, others. Is this true, what they're saying to me? Is this really what I believe about myself? And number 3, when you are visualizing, when you're thinking about the future, when you are clarifying your objectives, remember to bring emotion into the equation so that it becomes a lot more real for you. I hope that has helped. If you'd like to get in touch, you'll find a link below that you can book a no obligation, no fee, whatever it is they say, book a 20-minute call with me. I'd love to find out more about you and potentially see where we can work together to help you put your mindset in such a place that you actually achieve what it is that you want to. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay fabulous. Loads of love, and bye for now.